seen the same response to that that you would hope?
Yeah, nothing different than what our guys have done pretty much all year. It's what I expected, and it's generally what happens is they come back, they're resilient, they get back to work. We had our probably longest film session, I would say, of the year, watching both ends and then moving on and getting a first look at Minnesota yesterday and then going out and executing on the court. Now it's about carrying that over. It doesn't matter what you do behind those closed doors. It's how you carry that over into those 40 minutes in between the lines. And our guys have been really good at it all year, bouncing back, whether it's a win or a loss, and finding a way to get back to work. Very important game. Obviously, a little bit of different game as far as time is concerned to play before noon. Go out there, play at 11 o'clock in the morning. Just got to hopefully get off to a good start. It's important in early games that you get out of the gate fast and hopefully go out and play a complete 40-minute game, which we did not do the other night. Our physicality wasn't where it needed to be against that Michigan State team. They got us in transition early. Second half, I thought we played pretty well, especially on the offensive end. I thought we were very efficient, but it's hard to climb out of a 20-point hole on the road against a great team. So we can't put ourselves in that position. Have to get off to a good start and then sustain it.
After that game, you were pretty disappointed about the way that the offensive struggles kind of led into the defensive effort. Has that kind of been a primary theme the last few days?
And I'll say this, Robin, after going back and watching it, and give Michigan State credit, the shots they hit were a lot of them were tough shots, and they took 24 mid-range shots. It's what you want to do with your defense. They made 14 of them. You look at the Iowa game, and Iowa was 1 for 16 in those same shots. And a lot of those shots against Michigan State were highly contested. So, the defense, when I went back and watched, we had a couple where I didn't think our urgency was where we needed it. But overall, when you force a team to take that many shots, where when you look at the math and the numbers, it's where you want to force a team into that area. We did a solid job of it. Now, again, give them credit. They hit a lot of them. I think of the 24 mid-range, 18 of them were semi or fully contested. They got a couple on baseline out of bounds plays, where they did get free and got open. But, for the most part, we did contest it. The more disappointing thing to me was the rebounding. They out-rebounded us by 17, and they were definitely more physical than we were.
Fred, what do you guys know about Minnesota?
Yeah, it's a very talented team, and I was really impressed with the way they played at Wisconsin. Top 15 team on the road, and played them to a one-possession game. Had the ball down 3 on the last possession, and it's a team that Battle is one of the more difficult covers in our league because of his versatility and his ability to score the ball all over the floor. Garcia poses a lot of problems at the 5 because of his ability to pop out on the floor. About half the time he rolls, half the time he pops. So we have to be on point with their coverages, their guards. They've got good size in their backcourt, and they've got good physicality. They're very sound on the defensive end of the floor. I think Ben is terrific on that end, and we just again have to go out there and hopefully get off to a good start. But I've been impressed with the way they've played lately, and again that game against Wisconsin certainly could have gone either way.
The strength is kind of defending inside the arc, which is kind of your strength on offense.
Yeah.
What do you need to do to win that battle?
Well, we have to make shots. I mean, that's a big part of it. That would be helpful if we can take the lid off a little bit and loosen things up on the inside. But they do a great job. They front the post. Their help on the backside is on point. They really get out and show on the ball screens. With the blitzing, aggressive coverage that takes teams out of their offense and tries to make them uncomfortable, which they do a really good job of. They get back in transition. They make you score in the half court. Just have to try to do a good job getting the ball where we need it with some room and again, hopefully knock down some shots.
A game like this for you guys are fairly similar as far as the stats go. It seems like turnovers have been a real issue for them. I think they had 20 against Wisconsin. How critical are those in a game like this to create offense?
Yeah, it is. It's very important that you try to, when you're struggling to score the ball in the half court, if you can find a way to manufacture some offense with deflections, with turning teams over, that's going to help, and it helps with confidence too. And I think when you look back at the Iowa game, we made shots early in that game, and you jump out to a big lead, and it makes your job a lot easier. So if we can get out and disrupt and hopefully create some turnovers. That would help some of our offensive woes right now. But, again, it's about the pace. It's about being consistent. It's about popping your feet, setting guys up, setting screens, and, continue to trust. I thought we were too much ISO. We were too ISO heavy early in the game at Michigan State. We went too fast. We didn't make them defend side to side. Second half, we were great. We cut, we read the defense, we took what they gave us, and again, we shot 58% in the second half. So it's hard, one half 26, second half 58. That's hard to do, when you have that discrepancy. But, again, you just have to take some of the things, and we watch both. We watch the good and the bad and try to eliminate the lulls that we have. Those last 7 or 8 minutes in the first half, obviously, we're not very good.
When you have a really bad night at the free throw line, how do you handle that as a coach? Because like some speech configs. Everybody knows they had a bad night.
Yeah. Well, we'd been better. I think we were 73% since the Creighton game, so we were trending in the right direction. But at one point, I think we were 3 for 12. We had 6 and 1s in the second half, and we converted on 1 of them. And that's hard. Instead of being 12, that thing could have been 5 or 6 points. And now you put some heat on them, you put some pressure on them, and anything can happen. So you got to find a way to convert those easy ones. We went over to the lab yesterday, the sports performance lab, and we got the science involved in it. And we put what's the game? With those little balls, metallic balls on the guys all over their bodies, and we looked at tempo, we looked at how their weight distribution was on the free throw line. What's the video game called I'm thinking of? You guys are no help. Yeah, 2K, there you go. Yeah, like the 2K. So you put the things on, and then you get the now we're seeing trends, and one of the guys' weight really shifted to the left side as he was going up on the free throw. So then we made a few adjustments, and then you see it, and now you see it from a scientific standpoint. So we've got all these great resources at our discretion, so we're pulling everything out. And we went over there for a couple hours with a lot of the guys yesterday. We'll get more of them in the lab next week, but just another tool, and hopefully, just if nothing else, just to get their mind thinking a little bit differently, and hopefully give them a little bit of confidence. One of the knees was going in a little bit too much, and then they had to correct on the way up of the free throws. So we looked at free throws, we looked at jump shots, and now it's about carrying that over. And it's like when I'm on the putting green, I can hit about 23 footers in a row, and when I get out in the course, I am not the same. I'm probably about 5 for those 20 when I get out in the course. It's the same thing when you're at the free throw line. Make them in practice, great, but it doesn't matter unless you carry that over to the game. But we're pulling everything out. We're trying a lot of things. We're shooting them in practice, I can promise you that. But just to get a little different feel and, throw the science aspect at it. We've got one of the greatest sports performance labs in the country. Teams look at what we have and try to model their system. I know there's a couple NBA teams that are coming and looking at our stuff and incorporating that into their sports science department. So it really is it's a cool thing, and just again, just to try to change things up a little bit, we got some of our guys over there, and hopefully that'll help us convert at a higher number. Blaze, he'll be game time. He did a lot in practice today and did a little bit more yesterday. Was a little bit sore this morning, but we decided to see how he responded and taped him up and put him through pretty much the entire workout. So these next 24 hours obviously are important, Mr. Obvious, but it's going to be see how he responds, get him a couple treatments tomorrow, warm him up, and see if he's ready.
Yeah, general question. In the first few weeks of Big Ten play, what do you make of the league so far?
Yeah, really balanced, and it's top to bottom as good as any league in the country, as it always is. There's no gimme games in this league, and I think you've seen that. Our game against Purdue, I think, was a perfect example of that. And, it's just top to bottom as good as any. So you just got to go out every night, be ready. The way our guys are bought in defensively, I think we'll have a chance most nights when we step on the floor if we go out and execute. So, it's been terrific, and that's not going to change. Thank you.